Well, hey everybody, here we are again in Danny's garage. We like to refer to it as Studio G.
Absolutely.
It's high-end production again this year.
I've got two TVs in the background there too.
True. Anyway, today what we're going to talk about is field trips. You know, those things you do when you're a kid, you're a student at school. My first field trip I ever went on was when I was a student in England, so I was probably about 7 or 8 years old. And we went to the Chester Zoo, which is a really good zoo in England. I had never been to a zoo though, because we had come from the prairies of Canada where we had no zoos at all. So it was kind of a big deal, and so I always remembered that. But really the field trip I want to talk the most about though was the first one I ever went on here in the United States. And that was to the Seattle Japanese Garden. Rather than me talk at length about it, I already made a sort of a little video, a little movie about that experience when I went to the Seattle Japanese Garden. So let's take a look at that, and then we'll talk about that and your story at the other end. All right. So I'm standing inside the Seattle Japanese Garden. This is about a 3.5 acre park, and it's located in the Arboretum near the University of Washington. Just a great spot to come down and hang out. So this place holds a special spot in my heart. When I moved to the United States as a boy from England in early 1968, I'm not sure exactly when, but sometime during that year, my elementary school, Sunset Elementary, took us on a field trip, and this was my first ever field trip here in the United States. If you've never been down here, you might want to check it out. If you don't live in Seattle and you come visit sometime, this is a good little spot to come and take a few minutes and just slow down a little bit. Yeah, that video is a little Zen-like, right?
I'm discovering my inner peace.
Oh, good. And it had a little effect
I
on
need
you.
inner peace these days.
Don't we all? So anyway, you saw most of my story there in that little movie. And yeah, that day just meant a lot to me. I was a new kid here in the U.S., hadn't been here that long. And I don't know, that place just has stuck with me all these years. It's not like I go down there a lot, but I do revisit it once in a while. And there you go. I did it with my cameras one day and had a really good day out. So that's my story. Why don't you tell us a little bit about a field trip that meant a lot to you as a kid?
Well, let's see. For me, from 4th grade through high school, I was raised in Virginia, in Northern Virginia, just outside of Washington, D.C. So the Civil War lives on there. I can't remember exactly what grade I was in, but we all got on the bus and went to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania to see the Gettysburg battlefield.
Wow.
And that really gave a quite impression on me. And of course, at the visitor center, they had a big diorama that laid out the way the battle was. you see the high ground, you see the low ground, you see where Pickett's charge was, and then you read about Pickett's charge and the ferocity of the battles back then, and you go, those people were nuts. So that is one field trip that I remember. Most of the field trips that I took were with family
Okay.
around the D.C. area.
Yeah.
So,
But that one to the battlefield was with the
that
school.
one stuck with me. That's one I remember. And
Do you remember at all? Did all the kids in the class be impacted a bit by it?
you know, I don't think they were.
No.
I just think it's a bit of history. I don't think when you're a young person, I don't think you really realize the events of the past, how momentous they were,
True.
and what they meant to how the country was formed.
Yeah.
I just don't think you realize that. But then you think back, well, I went to Gettysburg and I'm going to read about it. And then you read about the entirety of the Civil War, and I've done that with a number of books, and you read about how horrible it was and how all the politics behind it as well, how it started up and how it ended, and Reconstruction. And I think as an adult you have a better appreciation of what the country went through during a really, really horrible time.
Sure. And I suppose then that memory of the field trip, maybe that resurfaces in your brain a little bit
I
too.
can say I've been to
Yeah.
Gettysburg. I've been to a lot of different battlefields in Virginia as well.
Right,
too.
you and I and your brother Jim and the late Tim Morris, we went out there one day, and that was quite a moving day. We walked some of the battlefields together and just kind of stayed quiet. And
In Manassas, Virginia.
that's where we were.
Bull Run,
Right.
yes.
Bull Run, right. And I remember that one house we visited that had been a field hospital during the Civil War.
The old stone
stone
house.
house,
Yes.
right. That really moved me because they've left so many things in place. They even had some of the really old medicine bottles. They just sort of got them up high on the shelf. And yeah, that was a pretty moving day. I remember that really well.
Yeah, I think most of the battles in the Civil War were fought in the state of Virginia. And
Yeah.
so there's history all over that state.
So that was your field trip as a child. And then you mentioned to me off camera a little bit about where you got to chaperone, I guess.
I chaperoned my daughter when she was in middle school, 7th grade, and I chaperoned. They went down to the International District in Seattle. I'd never been there. It was the first time I was there.
Okay.
Very interesting. Chaperoning a bunch of 7th graders, though,
Yeah.
I didn't have as much fun as I did when I went to Gettysburg. Because I remember what I was like as a 7th grader.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we're all little monsters at 7th,
So,
8th grade, I guess.
I remember that I chaperoned a field trip, and I just as soon forget about it most of the day.
Okay. You know, I chaperoned too, you know, being the father of 2 kids. I guess one I'll mention, we went down to the International District once too. And my favorite part was we went to a factory that existed at the time. I think it may be gone now, but it was a fortune cookie place where they made the fortune cookies. And I don't know, that was pretty cool watching those little wafers come off the production line, and then they quickly fold them up with the fortune in there. So that was my memory, I guess, from being a chaperone anyway.
So every time you go to a Chinese restaurant and you open up the fortune
Right,
cookie there,
I sometimes think about that day.
you've got a perspective on that fortune
Yeah,
cookie.
right. All right, well, there we go. That's a little bit of fun today, a lighter topic. But, well, there was a serious tone with the Civil War, of course. But
Right.
that was our topic today, which was field trips that we did as kids.
The lesson to learn is, even as an adult, go take field trips and see different parts of the country and different museums and different battlefields and learn about those things, and just learn more about what this country, how this country was made, and the troubles that we went through during certain times.
Some of the struggles. Totally, Denny. Yeah, it doesn't have to be something you do just as a kid, that's
No,
for sure.
and you'll get a better appreciation for what we have today.
Yeah, maybe if that's our message today, yeah, just get out there and see stuff that's out there in our own country for sure.